Yeah. My head just exploded.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your show.
I saw a big coyote yesterday. Startled me. Big one.
They
So
don't bother human. They don't like. They're scared of us, right?
yeah, they're scared, and I've found that I just only say hey really loud. I go hey, and it runs away.
That scares
Never
them.
say
And then I go,
that.
oh, I wish I would have been calm. You would have just ignored me. But it came out right at this outside my office as I was going toward the door. And it was like we both were headed in to like do some reading. And I was like, oh, you've got to go. And it's one of the big ones. And it just looked at me and was like, all right, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, no, coyotes like they're just like, you know what? We were speaking about anxiety earlier. Every coyote seems like it's got clinical levels of anxiety.
Yeah, it
Every
has to.
single like, they're so skittish, their hair's all messed up. They're just like, ah,
They're just stressed out. Like, just
Yeah.
give me you. We lived here before.
That is a weird thing to think about, right? Like how animals are like, animals have been around longer than us,
Yeah.
and yet we don't give them the respect they deserve.
Excuse
That's
me.
why we do what we do, dude.
That is why we do what we do. I saw a post on Reddit that someone opened up a jar of pepperoncinis and we're eating the pepperoncinis out of the jar.
I
You see that,
saw.
Elliot? And it was just one of those you could buy them at the grocery store. Like it's the brand that everybody gets when they want pepperoncinis. Like I've seen it in like people's fridges.
Dr.
And this-
Compton's pepperoncinis.
Dr. Popper's pepperoncinis, peppery pepperoncinis. And anyway, but the person was like, I ate a few of these and then found this, and they like bit open a pepperoni, and inside was
saw
like
that.
you saw that too? Yeah, it was like a caterpillar or something. It was like that
That's not
big.
fun.
And the top comment was like, we're the top of the food chain. Eat it.
Do your thing. Yeah.
Do your thing.
I saw one comment
Just
that was
eat
like,
it. Assert your dominance.
yeah, the one comment was like, eat it, and if it tastes different, that means you haven't eaten one. But if it doesn't taste different, that means you have.
Yeah, there was so many comments of people just being like, you
Eat
want,
it.
like you already ate a bunch of them.
You could like a bigger bitchy species to be at the top of the food chain, because we're like, if we're at the top of the food chain, we should be okay with anything and everything, right? But we're just like, most of us are like, hold the tomatoes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you couldn't tell your buddy Gronk to hold the tomatoes when he was like, when he would come around with a saber-tooth tiger burger.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be like, you got to eat this the way it is. No substitutions, it said on that menu.
We're the only species that's like Gronk would have like, killed some mammoth and bring some mammoth to the table, and then three kids are like, I don't think that.
Yeah,
I
one
don't
of them's
want
like, I'm vegan.
No, thank you.
They should, like the one kid that's like, I'm vegan in the caveman days, and they just throw them off a cliff, like as soon as they like tell them that.
And Midsommar'd them.
Yeah, they would.
We are the most beta alphas ever. That's all
We
I'm saying.
are, we are. Like, but it made me think, that whole like post made me think about like how many bugs we eat. Like,
Yeah.
there was just this thing. Did you guys ever go to Look Cinemas in Glendale?
Yes, I have. I enjoy
You have
that
been
place
to-
a lot.
Yeah, it's a good play, a good spot. There was a post on TikTok and then on Twitter, and apparently someone got fired and then was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna expose this place." And
Oh, crap.
yeah, and apparently it's just like riddled with vermin. It's like, and so Elliot, if you don't, and for those of you that are unaware, this place, and sorry to put them on blast like this, I don't know if anybody who listens to this lives in that area anyway, but so Look Cinemas is a place where you can like order dinner while you eat. They like serve you food in the theater. Like, you've been to these places like iPick or something
Yeah.
like that.
But
Like,
this one always felt like a little less glamorous.
Well, and that made it more attractive, because like every in this time of things being so expensive, and it felt like a good deal, And then they even had like a Tuesday matinee thing, and it's like super cheap, and the food is like whatever. It's like
You talking about expiration date Tuesday?
last chance meal
Yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah. It's just, the food's fine. Like I've eaten there a lot, like little pizzas and chicken tendies, and
Mhm.
Joe, you've eaten there.
I just get the popcorn.
Sure,
trust me.
you know,
Movie food.
whatever. I know, but like you just gotta. Sometimes you just gotta, like, And anyway, but so they serve food, and they've served it for a very long time, and it's part of the whole deal. And so this person exposed them and was like, "I gotta just show you guys what's up." And they had like video footage of like a rat inside the like batter they use to like make fry all the stuff, and it's like trying to get out, and they're like, "Oh shit, get this rat out of here." And then there's just like rats all over where the food is, and like cockroaches and shit. And they said that they don't clean anything. There's like moldy stuff. They just cut the mold off the top of things and serve that to people. And it made me
This is recent?
yeah, this is recent. And then and it was someone who got
Sounds like
fired.
Gangs of New York shit.
Yeah.
It is. It's like it's like Great Depression. Like it's
Yeah.
like literally like Great Depression going on back there. Like they're just like, it's disgusting. And then like a couple weeks later, all those posts disappeared.
Dun,
And
dun,
so
dun.
you can't find them anymore. And so I don't know if there's like a lawsuit going on or whatever, but now I'm not going to stop going to that theater, but I'm definitely going to stop buying the food.
Unless like you're hungry. Unless like hungry.
Well,
Yeah, guys got to eat.
but it made me think about like how much rat shit and rat hair and rat anything I've been eating. I have eaten. And even beyond that, like how many times do you think we've eaten like a Whopper or something, and there's probably like a cockroach wing in there or something, Like we've eaten a lot of bugs probably.
First of all, no one's eaten a Whopper since 1994.
That's true. I think that's true, actually.
What is y'all's go-to movie food? I know, Joe, you said popcorn.
Popcorn and a red and blue mixed freezy slurpy icy thing.
Okay, all
Yeah,
good.
I think it's got to be popcorn. I mean, popcorn is like, that's it, right? Like movies and popcorn go together like peanut butter and jelly, cocaine and heroin.
Rats and look theater.
Do you think when that
Rat
guy, after that guy was done taking all those videos and footage, that he took his hat off and there was a little rat controlling him at the top of his head?
Whoa.
And then
There's
he
a
got
rat
off and he's
wanting
like,
to
I don't know who
bring
did
down-
this.
Like there's a rat wanting to bring down like rat culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
A rat that hates rats.
Joe, you're a little low volume wise, I think.
You're a little
Oh.
low volume wise. Boost it
Let
up,
me
baby.
Let me mess with that real quick. Let me mess with
But
that.
I
You guys
just
keep-
did. Elliot, what's your go-to? Sometimes I'll get a hot dog.
I'll do
like,
a hot dog. Sometimes I'll do nachos. Grace will do the popcorn. We'll split it. But
I
I
bet
always
that-
like a little hot something. But I like the way they do it with the nachos, like at AMC, where the nachos are in a bag and the cheese is in a little cup and it's all heated and you just open it, because I like the idea that it was prepackaged somewhere else. But that's not to say that the factory in which it was packaged is somehow more sanitary.
I know. And like, like nachos just aren't the same anymore. Like I remember like,
No, they're really not.
right? Like what happened to nachos? Like what happened to nachos like in the retail world? Like I used to be able to get like the gooeyest, like my mouth's starting to water just thinking about it.
Tell us
Excuse
about
me,
it.
let me swallow all this blood and vomit really quick.
Probably a piece of rat.
Rat and teeth. I'm eating my teeth at this point.
You gotta tell people about teeth.
Yeah,
I'll
they're
tell
too-
him about the teeth. I'll tell him
Teeth is
about the
great.
teeth. It's a whole thing, but I'll tell him about the teeth. But nachos. I used to get these nachos. This place in Oxnard, the Center Point Mall in like the late 80s, early 90s, all the way into like maybe almost the 2000s. I used to
Into
get
the
this
aughts?
all the way to the aughts. I used to get this like this place. It was a Greek like food stand in the food court of this mall. And it was called It's Greek to Me.
Greek nachos, huh?
And they had a nacho machine and that like fucking 80s nacho cheese that was just like probably 95% microplastics and like, you know, whatever. Yeah, but exactly, Elliot. They would like, yeah.
Soft serve.
It was like soft serve, and it was the fucking best cheese, best nachos. The nacho would get like gooey, or you know, they would get like kind of like
Strings.
the crunchiness of the chip would become soaked in cheese, so it'd be like floppy.
Yeah.
Chip.
So the inner foundation would break down due to the science.
It was almost like cereal. Like, you know, you get like crunchy cereal and then on the bottom was like the soggy cereal. Listen, nachos is just savory cereal.
I don't like the flimsy nachos. You're like fucking with me, dude. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But here was the thing. Like for me, it was like all the top layer crunchy, exactly what you want out of nachos. But then you'd have like
Then you finish it off with a straw.
the half inch of nacho cheese with the floating soaked chips in there. Dude, I don't know, man. That shit fucking like drove me crazy.
I think you just convinced me that I like what they're doing with nachos.
It finna make me act up.
I don't understand. I've never gotten people who put the nacho cheese or ketchup on the chips or fries, respectively. Like when people take the ketchup and they drizzle it over the fries.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Why would you do that?
It's kind of a mess. It's a mess.
It's a mess. And it's like it's not even. You're gonna get some. I don't like the sauce. I like the dip in.
Yeah, because then you have control over how much ketchup you're distributing onto your chip.
Right.
But I don't know, man. Nachos are different. Like the nacho at the movie theater now in the little cup that you like peel the top part off. Like, I don't know. It's just different.
It's nice
just
that you
don't
run
like
out
the
of your
dainty
Coke. You can do a little. What?
Mm-hmm.
You can dip it over the pot, drain it over your popcorn,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get soggy popcorn.
People probably do that.
Well, I hope the whistleblower is okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the soggy anything when it comes to my hard foods. Mm-mm.
I like a soggy. I don't know why. Because basically it's just being inundated with the thing you're already eating.
Mm-mm.
Like it's all the same ingredients. It's just the texture changes. It's kind of like you're getting 2 meals in one.
I think our friendship
Joe-
is different now, Steve.
Joe's is self-described, if I recall correctly, Joe, picky eater.
Yeah.
I've heard you say this.
I'm kind of a
and
picky eater too, actually.
Much of what I've seen cluster around Joe's pickiness involves texture
Mm-hmm.
as a primary component of food enjoyment. Like he doesn't like fish because he doesn't like the texture of it's wet.
I don't like the soggy, but also the taste of fish. Anything seafood, can't do it.
When
I
seafood
know.
has that seafood taste where you can go,
Yep. It's like, oh, that's from the ocean. This doesn't feel right.
and it tastes like ocean.
And then
Yep.
they did like the vegan sushi or vegan fish or, you know, no meat-free fish. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's better because I'm not eating the actual thing, but they make it taste like the ocean.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But that's what you would want out of that, I guess. You know, like people want it to taste like people. That's always the weird concept to me too. Is like a vegetarian that still wants meat.
You both are sushi enjoyers, correct?
No,
Just
Yeah,
you.
I do sushi rarely, but I will enjoy it like probably once a month or something.
What's the most suspect place you've ever had it? Because I know right outside my place of work is a 7-Eleven, and there is rolled sushi just sitting there on a 7-Eleven cold shelf, almost exposed to the elements, and people eat that shit. People will go-
I wonder if that's like crab imitation meat, which isn't quite.
oh, interesting. Yeah,
That is still, I think, is that still fish? I don't know.
I don't know. They get away with a lot of weird shit.
Yeah,
with
they can
that.
slice and dice and make it pretty. Because I don't think they would do that at 7-Eleven. That's a bold move unless they had a way of packaging it that was.
I think they do, and I just it seems
No,
like
yeah.
should always be somewhat high end. It should
Yeah,
always be
right.
prepared in front of you, put on a little tray,
Yep.
and
Same
yeah,
at
no,
like the airport. Like they'll have sushi at that like those coolers, and I'm like, no, no.
no.
And then eating the airport sushi on the plane too. Like that's like a weird, bizarre. Some
Ugh.
people are just we're just animals, you know? And like, you know, I as much as I love a soggy thing, someone loves eating fucking 7-Eleven sushi on an airplane. You know, I don't know. Everyone's got weird, different shit. It's probably based in childhood trauma.
Oh, open the book. Let us know, Elliot.
Let's go look. What's the deal? So, Joe, it really is a texture thing for you?
It's texture and taste for sure. And I also grew up in a place where I wasn't in Montana with my single father, eating kid cuisine a lot of the time that I wasn't exposed to a lot of it. And but these days I've been trying a lot of stuff. Had escargot recently.
Oh God, what was that like?
Not a fan.
No, I can't imagine. I that's just like escargot is you eat it and then you go, it's butter. That's a butter.
That's butter and garlic.
Yep.
But
I
because
guess I don't
because
need
they soaked it in butter and garlic, right?
Yeah.
Like that. So then, what's the point at that point?
Did it come
Because
in a
nobody
little
in their
dish?
right mind wants to just eat what it is and taste what it is, so they soak it in other flavors. You know?
I don't want that. I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's tofu, huh?
You're gonna eat the escargot, Steven. You're gonna like it.
I'll never eat escargot ever.
I have a quick update that's tangentially related to what we were just talking about. It involves
Okay.
last week's conversation with me and Joe. I just want to get it out because I know I could just hear people screaming. Give us an update on the rats, Elliot.
Oh
And
yeah, and the hawks and stuff. Weren't you having a hawk problem?
I
You
know.
have an
They're
exploding bird problem.
yeah. they
You're just
keep
like,
exploding.
why do you live in a nature preserve?
I
What's
know.
the why would you do that?
Golly, I'm always
Sounds nice at first.
every like last night I went out and I was like I heard the raccoons and they're like 4 feet away from me with those like bushes that we have in the back and I can hear them just like they're like
Plotting.
whispering in my ear. Yeah,
They're
but
plotting.
I set up these traps and then an Orkin guy came and I was like, hey, we got this thing going and they're eating a bunch of stuff. And he was like, oh, okay, I can set up some traps. And so now we have 5 traps in our garage. And Grace has me go out into the garage every day before she exercises to check for the dead rats so that she doesn't have to stumble upon it. And I've been doing this like a morning ritual now. And I go, all clear. And apparently they have left immediately, so it's good news. And so there has been no death of a rat or a mouse thus far.
You
And
guys
I think
did
they may
set
have.
up- You set up a freaking American Ninja Warrior course in
I did,
your garage.
yeah, for everyone. And I think what happened is they left and they went to that movie theater. So
They're like, we need to go somewhere where there's good flicks,
yep,
good food to run around in, not necessarily eat.
Well, they're horror fans, so they went and watched Terrifier 3 and The Substance back to back.
Whoa,
Wow.
what a night.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Terrifier 3 again. I know we've talked about it, but I don't know. The guy unnerves me when I look at him.
Yeah. Well, it's because of the clown thing, you think, huh?
And the smile and the darkness, and it's just a very
pretty-
well done design.
Yeah, he's pretty damn evil. I saw it, Steve. I saw Terrifier 3 with my daughter.
I haven't
Whoa.
watched it yet. Don't spoil.
And I saw The Substance on my own. And The Substance is my favorite movie of the year.
The Substance is so good.
I heard it was really good and kind of goofy, but
Goofy and dark, but like really makes some amazing points about the journey of women, not just in entertainment, but just in the journey of the aging process. It's so fucking good.
It's kind of like a Black Mirror episode as a
Cool.
whole movie. Like, it doesn't necessarily exist in our universe. It's kind of like, because I remember like walking away from The Substance and being like, I don't believe there's a version of Hollywood without at least one or two gay men in the industry. Like, where are the gays?
That's
there's
what you
no-
walked away
hey, don't
from.
spoil it.
Sorry, there's no gays in The Substance. Because they delve really deep into the Hollywood, like, what it's like now for for women in Hollywood, like, and it's a modern movie, so it's like it's not like we're looking at the 60s or the 70s. So there's just a lot about that movie that's very much like, oh, this is in our world.
Dude, they make Dennis Quaid so gross in it
Oh my
because they
god, that
film
shrimp
him.
scene.
They film him like he's a close up in a Ren and Stimpy cartoon. It's
And
crazy.
Oh wow.
and he looks like Vince. Who's that guy from the
Vince
world?
McMahon.
He looks like Vince McMahon, yeah, and he acts like Vince McMahon.
But man, Elliot, I visually it may not be your palette. Some of the things you will see, however, it is so good, and the visuals are over the top.
So good.
So
Yeah,
you can-
I am interested. I've heard good things, and I actually think so. We're doing the Halloween movie thing, and I think Grace's movie is going to be something from the '80s that I'm going to forget, or '90s. It's starring two women. I forget what it is. It's two words. Um,
We're gonna
Showgirl.
get there. We're gonna get there.
I was gunning for to see Heretic in theaters. I was going to be like, I want mine to be like, let's up the ante, and I'll postpone my choice for a movie until Heretic comes out. And Grace was like, too much. And I was like, I think you're right. It's going to be another couple years before I can push that idea. But maybe going to see The Substance in theaters isn't too far of a.
I think so. I think it's
Which
very
one's Heretic?
Heretic has Hugh Grant in it, and it looks
Oh,
awesome.
dude, I've heard amazing things. I've been
Really
looking forward to
cool.
this one for a minute because,
the Barbarian guys, right?
yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
And Long Legs was talked about as if it was like the new Silence of the Lambs, and it was really hyped up, and it had such a strong start, and then it just like did not.
It's fun,
It didn't land.
but it ain't that. It ain't what you just said.
But yeah, exactly. And people were like saying that, and then Heretic, everyone was like, okay, that's the one. Heretic is the one.
Hugh Grant looks
Yeah.
great. In it.
Plot wise, I'm very excited. I mean, the moment I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, that's yeah, that's gonna you got me.
Dude, they're doing a one night only screening of Heretic at the Draft House that has smell-o-vision.
Oh, with like the blueberry candle or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the blueberry pie. That's so smart.
Yeah, they're giving people like smell-o-vision cards, and you like scratch and sniff.
Do you know
while
what I'm
watch
talking
the
about,
movie.
Joe? The blueberry thing, where in the trailer he like invites these two Christian or more whatever they are
Yep.
girls in, and then he goes, "My wife is here. She's making a pie. It's a blue, and then he gets up to get it, and she looks down, and sees a blueberry pie candle."
Uh-oh, suspect. Steve, I know you're on some painkillers right now, but I'm pretty sure you said Giraffe House, and that makes me happy.
Nah, why would I say that? I love the Draft House.
Can you
Does it
imagine
just
if
sound
that
it's
was the scandal?
The Giraffe House.
Someone leaked all these photos. There's like a shit ton of giraffes in this theater.
You guys never been to the Giraffe House? It's this bar where there's just giraffes wandering around. While
Giraffe got into the batter again.
Yeah. 2 or 3
d-
people die every other night because they just get trampled by giraffes.
Joe, what was Hayden's?
Oh, to Terrifier?
Yeah.
She was a big fan, not big fan, but she'd watched the other two, and she's one of those friends
Wow.
that's like trying to like poke her other friends to go watch this stuff, and they're like, dude, what's wrong with you? And it kind of fell through with her friends, so I was like, hey, can I take you? I'd love to have a daddy-daughter. And we went, and it was fun, and we both just kept doing this the whole time. Looking at each other like, that's a little much.
But they have to up the ante, right? They have to. Like, you can't
Here's
just
my-
do the same movie 3 times.
My final thoughts on it are thus. Look, I know what it is. It's fine. I'm a horror fan. At some point, there's like some things that I just don't need in my head or my brain. That happened a couple times in that movie, for sure. But I will say, I do think Art the Clown is the newest horror icon since the reimagined Pennywise. And they took Art the Clown and made him legitimately funny in this. Like, he was a funny fucking character.
He's always been funny.
But like he upped his game in this one. Like his acting was next level compared to what he was before, and the juxtaposition with just the visuals and the crazy evil, so good. Great. It's a great character, but man, those movies are a lot, and you have to be in a mood.
Well, yeah,
I don't. I will not ever be in that mood. But
You won't be, man. Holy crap.
does he speak or is the gimmick? Yeah. I'm out. That alone, the standing in silence, smiling is even that smile trailer.
It's like a mime, but he goes like over the top right before he just.
It's like he's like a really violent, real life Bugs Bunny kind of. If Bugs Bunny was an absolute psychopath, which
it reminds. Go ahead.
No, some say Bugs Bunny's a psychopath, but go ahead. Sorry.
It reminds me of in like the early, I want to say Batman Returns, like those early scenes where there's like clowns everywhere on Christmas. That's what art reminds me of. That same gothic style.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of does look like that.
Bugs Bunny is a trickster, not psychopath, technically, but tricksters can be psychopaths.
Yeah.
I saw a clip on Reddit about
We're splitting hairs.
I saw a clip of Bugs Bunny on Reddit this week that was like, they could never do this today, and it was a clip of Bugs Bunny dressed as a cowboy defending a fort, shooting a bow and arrow out into what you could not see was the battlefield, and he was singing 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indians while marking down how many he had just killed.
And you know those guys were like, because what years are we talking here? 40s?
40s, yeah. 50s.
Those
40s?
guys are like sitting in the writer's room and they're like, what if he's singing 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indians, but it's because he's killing them? And everyone's like, that's so fucking funny.
Smoking down, like holding at once.
Giant cigar, passing cigars around. Try this one, Mel.
Assaulting women.
Yep. Just casually.
Just casually assault.
Not a gay man in sight.
We used to be a country. I remember when the new WB like Looney Tunes came out and they had that warning on it that I think was like read by Whoopi Goldberg or something, and it was like, you just need to be aware this was at a different time and this is a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And people of course did the like, oh, I can't believe they have to put a warning on it, but it's like if you watch them, you're like, yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, so much. There's so much, dude. Even Disney had it too. Disney released a bunch of like stuff in the 90s and the early 2000s, early aughts, and it had Leonard Maltin come out and be like, okay, hold on, this stuff, it was a different time, it was a different time, but we're not gonna, we don't want to like hold back history. We don't want to hide history. We want you to be able to like see what it was, but we want you to understand that, they just thought this shit was funny. They thought this shit was hilarious back then,
It's funny too when he said that and he started giggling the whole time. That was like, come on, man, you gotta keep it straight.
This is some good shit, guys. This is good stuff.
Yeah, it is around a different time, but it's like really, you're gonna love it.
It's a better. Some would say it was a better time. Like,
I say it was a better time.
We should go back to that time. Is what some would say.
Joe, I want to ask you.
I felt more powerful then, so that's a better time.
I want to ask you, Joe, about how where Terrifier 3 lands in the. Like, did you watched all of them recently, or you've just seen them?
I have perused them all. Yeah,
better than Rogue One.
Because Terrifier 3 is a Star Wars story.
Yeah,
it's the hero's journey for sure.
Mm-hmm.
From start to finish.
At the end, little baby Han Solo is born.
This one wasn't creative kills, yada yada. It wasn't as darkly violent as the second one. I felt this one was a little bit more palatable than what was happening in part 2 for sure.
Yeah, I just feel like it's one of those things where I think it was like during part 2, where one of the like gruesome murders, and the person is like screaming for their life, like for like way too long, and I'm just like, there's a moment where your brain is like, I don't think I can handle someone begging for their life for like 6 minutes, while horrifying things are happening to them. And then I was thinking, okay, wait a minute. This is not how that would be. That person would die right away. Or they would like go into like shock and then like pass out or something. Like the fact that like they drew out these like deaths in such a comical way, like in a not believable way, turned it from this is like uncomfortable and like scary to like, oh well, this isn't real even a little bit. You
It's
know
not-
what I mean?
I
Sorry.
don't believe my rational faculties would be strong enough to convince the visceral disgust and fear I would feel in that moment.
Yeah.
Well, I talked to. He made this point like a few podcasts ago, and I truly understand his point, but I think Steve is one of the 1% that can actually get to that point with movies like this.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
most
totally.
people
I'm in
would just-
that as in me personally,
Yeah.
but not.
And I think
yeah.
most people that would sit and watch this are like, no, I can't think of it like that. This isn't too much,
Yeah.
and I want to walk away. We did have a couple people walk away. I was excited to see that happen. Saw some
Cool.
people get up and leave. That was fun.
Some people
good.
left The Substance when I saw it in the theater.
That's
they got up
stupid.
and left.
I don't agree with. That's stupid. That's
I mean,
dumb.
there
You tell
know,
him to sit back down.
But
That's
the
dumb.
thing is like, you know, the unique thing about The Substance is that like it is a really important story about, you know, how we treat women in the industry and how women are treated still, and then, you know, the aging process and you know, holding on to your youth and all of that. And that's a super relatable important topic. And so I think it's drawing in people that wouldn't normally go see what is essentially a body horror movie. And once you get the people that are like, well, I want to see this like take on the way women are treated in the industry and about aging, and then they're not expecting the like extreme disgusting body horror part. And it is, Joe, like, you know, we've seen a lot of shit, but if Elliot saw The Substance, he might cringe. Like, I don't know too much about what Grace can handle or not in the horror world, but there is quite a bit of gory imagery.
The only reason I think it might be sellable is because I think she heard good things from someone else that bolstered her interest, and so that's a rare time that happens.
Yeah.
But I don't know that she'd want to do it in theaters. I think
It's just so worth seeing.
Yeah,
it's so worth seeing. But
I think
it
she'd
is
really
body horror.
It's
practical magic.
a lot of good
Oh,
practical
that's a
stuff
good-
in it as well.
That's the
Practical
movie.
Magic is what you're gonna watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, Practical Magic is good. My
Well,
mom
she went-
loves it.
She went on the equally popular "This Might Get Weird" podcast and asked the listeners for, like, you know, movies that wouldn't scare her for Halloween, and that was the one that I think that she landed on. And I was like, I think they went really extreme on the not scary part. So
Yes, they
Yeah.
did, especially in that movie. What the final takeaway that the other pre-warning I will give you about The Substance, Elliot, is I walked away going, thank God I didn't watch this as a teenager, because I would have the most weird sexual hangups moving forward.
my
Because
God.
it is also a horny movie.
Oh, it's the horniest movie of the year.
yeah.
Hands down.
that's good to know.
Yep.
And Margaret Qualley is
Oh yeah, she's
she's quite a treat, you know?
Did you know she was Andy McDowell's daughter?
What?
Yeah, dude. I didn't know.
Oh, I did not know that.
But now that you look at her and you think of Andy McDowell, you're like, oh, I see it.
Is the dad anybody?
I don't
Her
know.
father anybody? Wow,
Probably.
that's crazy.
She also had fake boobs in the movie.
She did wear fake boobs in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like her daughter.
Yeah. There's a lot of nudity in it.
Yep.
Heck yeah,
And a lot of fake boobs.
right
Oh,
on.
one more thing about Terrifier. Did you guys see the guy who plays Art the Clown? Did you see his audition?
No, I didn't see his audition. I saw like a makeup thing.
Oh
Like,
man,
getting into makeup.
let's look at his audition, because it's also kind of fun to see him without the like Art the Clown makeup. You know, that's like weird to see that he's just some regular guy and doesn't look anything like Art the Clown. But I was really surprised.
Actually, Colin Farrell under that. Crazy.
Yeah,
So
dude, you guys watching The Penguin?
So good.
Fucking
So good.
incredible.
So good.
We'll talk about it in a second here, but let me show you guys this this audition.
Wow, that's not who I expected.
Right?
Man.
So he's got to show that range. He can be like kind of funny and silly, but also scary.
Ate some cake. Liked it. Oh, he put some salt on it.
This is me at a steakhouse.
Yeah,
This
it's
looks
those
like-
moments of joy.
This looks like one of Justin Bieber's first YouTube videos.
Anyway, pretty chill, huh? Pretty cool.
That is
Chill
cool.
guy. Pretty chill guy.
Good chill guy.
Penguin is so good, and spoilers for the most recent episode as of there's a new one today, but like I have gone back.
Wait, hey, let's give Joe a minute here.
Oh, are you doing the audition for? That's Joe's audition for. I think he's at the wrong audition.
Oh shit!
That's you're looking for the substance that's down there.
These Zoom auditions are getting out of hand. Yeah, the Penguin.
The last episode was my favorite. I like jumped out of the couch because Are you guys caught up?
Oh yeah,
Why are you
You're caught up?
watching the penguin in the couch?
it's so comfy.
I like to
be
get all
in the
zipped up in there. I like-
Yeah, it's like you're. You know, you ever sleep up against the wall when you were a kid? Like
You've been on my couch, Joe. It'll swallow you.
Yeah, it's like you're being swaddled.
Yeah. When he goes down there, and I was like, "Oh, he's in the spoilers."
Dude, my girlfriend
He's in the
noticed right away.
sewers.
Yeah, she's like, wait a minute, isn't that where?
Yeah.
Joe, you're caught up?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
let's.
good.
So, a little bit of Penguin spoilers. I don't know, whatever. But he's like, he finds his like underground. We could see his like underground layer
What?
get started.
Uh,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
He's
Pretty
so
cool.
excited. You feel that humidity? Ah, mushrooms? Ah,
Ah, come on!
I'm the penguin. Ah.
Come on! You know, I thought. Have you guys gone back to watch the Batman
Yes.
while watching the Penguin?
Yes.
I can't. I've been wanting to because it's like it makes you want to watch the Batman
It makes you appreciate the Batman way more.
for sure. Does it feel like his performance as the Penguin in the Batman is a little different
Mhm.
from the show?
A little.
Yeah.
But it's like I think yeah, I mean it would make sense to be a little
well,
little
totally,
different.
they're way different. Like the two shows, like the Batman was way more brooding than what the Penguin is.
Yeah, but like I found the Penguin to be a little silly in the Batman, and then in the show, it's like, oh, he's Tony Soprano.
Oh, I actually found it a little the opposite.
Oh, really? You think he's sillier in the show?
I think there's one moment in the Batman where he's a little silly, but besides that,
Yeah.
I think his humor is definitely more showcased in the Penguin.
And the scene where they have him like where they captured him and they're like showing him the pictures of the dead people in the Batman. Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
Ellie's
about?
showing me.
Hey, why are you showing me this? Hey! And he's doing
Miss
such
Spanish boys,
Yeah.
it's La Rada.
yeah. And the whole like, hey, where's the gabagoo? Like he's so over the top in the
Yeah.
Batman. I feel like, and in
Maybe he's over the top just like compared to everything else in the Batman, but it's kind of the same tone as what he's doing now. It's just the rest of the Batman is not that. It's Seven.
it just seems that like yeah, because the show is doing so well and it's like universally being loved by like comic book fans and regular folks. It feels like it'll probably alter what the movie, like the next movie will be like, right? Like, don't you think?
Maybe. Well, it's so good because it just doesn't feel like a superhero anything. It doesn't feel like a comic show. It doesn't feel like it has anything to do with it. It's just a
No,
good
but then
show.
yeah, totally. But then they drop in shit that's like, oh, dude, we're like in Arkham. Like we never got to be in
Right.
Arkham in any of
Which
the
is-
movies, really.
Which is great, but again, it could be called any other jail. Like it doesn't matter. Like does not. It's not a comic book show. It's a good gangster, seedy city show, and we would love it even if he wasn't the frickin' Penguin. The fact that he is the Penguin makes it kind of cool.
The
But
I
one
didn't
thing. Oh, go ahead.
I didn't know that
reality.
until this show. My entire life, I didn't realize that Gotham City is in New Jersey and that Metropolis is New York.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, and you see in the first episode that kid when he shows his ID, it says New Jersey at the end of it.
Like Gotham, New Jersey?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't know if it says
Whoa.
Gotham City specifically, but yeah, that's my understanding is that Gotham is all. And I saw a thread on it. People are like, no, Gotham's technically always been like in New Jersey.
Wow. I guess I never thought about that.
Mm.
Because I was
Um,
thinking like it was like, there's Brooklyn and there's, Manhattan, and there'd be like Gotham.
And yeah, and but yeah, the Gotham and Metropolis, the same kind of idea. So I guess Metropolis is like the more pristine, nice city, and then Jersey. It would make sense that Gotham would be in Jersey because Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey. But to your point, Joe, about the comic book thing, I don't know if you guys saw this like photo that's like a little leaked, but there is going to be an episode that comes up where he wears a top hat. So I think that they're kind of moving toward a little bit of more, comic booky. And I saw one guy that was like one comment that was like, what if toward the end he gets like in a fight and somebody slams like a bottle into his eye, and that will be like the monocle.
Whoa,
Like they're
he
tired
gets
about
like
having him.
he gets like a glass bottle embedded into his face. Dude, come on.
I don't know if that'll happen. There's some kind of injury that makes him become so much more like evil kingpin.
Well, I mean, obviously they're taking liberties, right? And they're making changes. Like it's not Oswald Cobblepot, it's Oswald Cobble or something. I think it's just
Yeah,
Cobb. Yeah, and they're changing like things to make it seem more like that's kind of weird. Like in fucking Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
like, that guy, his name, like they're just like his name is Doctor Strange. Like it really is like he's
Hugo
like performing surgeries, and they're like Hugo Strange, and it's like all right, that's kind of it takes you out of it a little bit. So the fact that I don't know, maybe it's too far with Cobblepot.
Can't wait for the next episode where he does militarize some penguins that he finds in the sewers. Like I'm really excited.
I heard that he finds in the next episode, this might be a spoiler, but he finds an umbrella on the ground, and it just so happens to also be a gun.
Hey, this is all.
Wait, what's this umbrella? What if it suddenly starts to get really like cheesy?
Like a 3-minute montage. Like he just holds an umbrella and he's just looking at it, and he opens it up, then he makes it small again, and he opens it up, then he closes it, and then he goes, and he looks to the guy, and that Colin Farrell like glimmer in his eye. You see that? Sometimes you see that. And then it's a 3-minute montage of him just like tirelessly working and like trying to make.
He's like sweating and like in his underground lair.
To
He's
make
like,
it what? What'd you say?
He wants to make it into a gun.
I was thinking that if he found an umbrella that was already a gun and then works tirelessly to just I fixed it. It's a regular umbrella.
I don't want this gun shit.
I don't know. Put a gun on this. This is stupid.
I won't be able to go to the opera with this. The cops will find me. I do want to see. So 2 things. Something I want to see, and then something that is kind of like there is an elephant in the room in the Penguin show that is just there and not being discussed, and we'll get to that in a second. But I would love to see if we're going like, the real gritty route with Penguin. I would like to see him at least like pull like maybe he's about to get into an altercation or something, or he's trying to like bully someone, and he just like looks for something and like pulls an umbrella out of like a thing and just beats someone with an umbrella. Like that's something that could probably happen. That would be a nod to the Penguin, but maybe he never uses it again or something,
I had a pet theory that his car is supposed to symbolize or be basically the umbrella, because his car is like a whole character in the show.
Totally,
from the very beginning. And he uses it to hide. He uses it to hit people. He uses it as like a whole, and it's like purple as a reference to Penguin. But whether it's the umbrella, probably not. But I was like, that's like supposed to serve the same function. It's like his his trademark. Because even she's like, "Hey, it's a purple car. You can notice it." But what's the
Everybody talks
elephant?
about it. Well, the elephant in the room is that we're like 6 episodes in and there's zero mention of Batman.
I love it.
Like I like it. You know, it doesn't need to be a part of the show. Like we don't need Batman in the show, but that the whole end of the Batman movie leads into the beginning of the show. Like the show starts off where the movie ended basically, and Batman like saved the city, like stopped the bad guys, like and like scares the shit out of all the criminal. Like there's even a part in the Batman where they're like I don't know if it's his own narration or something, but somebody says that like there's knowledge that there is someone that they're calling the Batman, and he's scaring like criminals and he's scaring thugs, and the Penguin came into contact with him and saw how fucking scary and fucked up he was, and like there's just no mention of like maybe we should be worried about that, or maybe no, why aren't we talking about this, or you know, like there isn't anything in the news, there's like zero anything.
Here's my prediction. I don't know how many episodes this season will be, but I'm guessing by the end, maybe he like
8.
builds his empire a little
There's got to be
bit. Like,
something, yeah.
builds the empire.
there's-
He's just about to get some good success. Like he's like, I'm on top of the world, and then he looks up and he's just like, oh fuck, and it's the Batman signal up in the freaking sky or something. And
Right?
that's
Like there's like that's how it ends.
that's how the
basically.
season will end, is in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Because I've heard that the next movie will be set during winter/Christmas time rather than Halloween, which would play into the Court of Owls, the Long
Ooh.
comic. And I think the Court of Owls are going to be a bigger part in the next thing, hence the family and all that stuff. I think there's another organization, but that means I believe that this series will go up toward like almost Christmas time, and then it'll be the winter. And so if Batman, I think in the first one is like focusing on petty criminals, but at the end he's like, I'm realizing that like this isn't the way, like focusing on these like petty criminals isn't doing enough, and you know, I'm inspiring people in the wrong direction or whatever. So I think
Right.
he might be kind of regrouping during this time and going, how do I take out, you know, how do I get to the bottom of all this stuff? So I can kind of,
Yeah.
there's enough plausible deniability in his lack of being in the show. Also, a lot of it is criminals fighting criminals, and I don't know that Batman gets involved with that so much. Why would he let him fight it out?
Entire crime families being taken out is kind of like, I think, in his interests. And we got that Gotham police guy in the show from the movie.
I know, I love that.
That was such a fun cameo.
They die about this
The guy that talks like this, his voice is getting like a little weaker as he goes along.
So I saw someone say he speaks in lower caps or lower text.
Lowercase.
Yeah,
Were you guys-
lowercase.
Were you guys a little bummed out we didn't get John Turturro?
Did you hear me? I am. Did you hear what he said about why?
I can't wait. What did he say?
It's kind of a bummer, but he basically was like, I chose not to do it because it has a lot of violence toward women. And everyone was like, buddy, did you see
Did you watch the movie you were in? He probably was like, that's not going to be a good show. And
Yeah.
just was like passed. And now it's like the best superhero show that ever existed.
There's like alluded violence towards women, but really, this is about a woman kicking ass and taking names and rising to the top.
And it's a woman showrunner.
Yeah. And she made a comment too and was like, we talked, me and Matt Reeves talked, and you know, yes, he is a violent person. He
But
is a bad guy.
Isn't the right? You're not supposed to love him. You
But
know?
he loves his mother. He loves his girlfriend.
No, Falcone. Not,
the Falcone guy. Well, they're all
okay.
pieces of shit. But you know, if Turturro is like they're violent towards women, it's like, well, they're villains. You know, this like there's violence towards women in real life. You know, like
yeah, age old kind of. It's fake, man. It's
I
fake.
will say that Falcone character, the John Turturro character, was like, he was basically like a comic book villain that was killing women.
That was like his thing, yeah.
Like that was his thing. And then the show shows where that kind of began, or that he was even doing it before the movie. Like he was like strangling women, and that made him like, that was his serial killer thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just what the character is. Like, you know, that's the character is just a violent asshole. They're all violent assholes.
Dude's got some good genes, though.
Great genes. I mean, dude, that character, Sophia,
I want to see her and
she's
Catwoman.
stealing the show, dude. Stealing the fucking show.
Frightening.
She's so good. And I'm like, whenever we don't see her and we're seeing Penguin, I'm like, I'm conflicted, because obviously, like, Colin Farrell is like mind blowing. The dude just transformed into a completely different person and is selling it. And you're like, I need to see him act and do shit. But then you see, what's her name? Christina Milioti or something? Or
I know, I always get it wrong. I don't know the number of syllables.
I know there's a lot. It's like Milioladio. But she's fucking, and then you see her and you're like, oh fuck, I don't know who I'd rather keep watching. Like, and that isn't that such a brilliant, so well done, dude. Lightning in a bottle. It's just good casting, good writing, good show running. Like, those things are so hard to align, and like, it just, what a show.
I'm glad you like it, Steve, because if you didn't, Joe and I would have
We'd have a really hard time continuing
a meeting.
as friends.
We'd have a meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. You know?
Yeah.
We kind of have a history of when we don't see eye to eye, we have a meeting.
And we kiss a lot, because that's how we communicate. And then
We do kiss a lot. With tongue, because we're not...
yeah, because
you know,
we're evolved. You know?
We're woke, you know?
Tongue time.
Did you guys see that they're spraying the chemtrails because the voting booths are open now? And I was like, oh, here comes the spray
way.
that they put to make everybody vote Democratic in LA.
Oh, you mean the mind control spray that makes me want to vote for the Democrat no matter what?
It's kind of like
it's about time, because I was on the fence. If it wasn't for that chemtrail shit, I think
you were on that CNN undecided voter panel, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It was just a short thing. Like, I don't know. I knew a guy who knew a guy, and they were like, we want your perspective.
Totally.
And
Whoa, by the time we record again, we're going to be on the eve of, like, insanity.
I think we're there, but yeah, it's going to be, who knows, dude, because right now, I was like, I got to get off this isn't good. I can handle a good amount of it. And then I was like, I need to step away, because this is like everyone, it seems like, is losing their minds and will continue to even more.
Crazy shit's happening. Like, CD crap is happening. Like, it's nuts. It's already started, and I do not look forward to the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th.
Yeah, it's going to be scary, man. Like, it's just going to be like 2016 all over again.
Yeah, I don't know. But with, like, possible less...
Well, with a different outcome, with a maybe more, you know, a
best
better
guardrails
outcome.
on a legal level is what I'm afraid of.
All right, well, let's end on that note then.
We're living our own penguin existence.
Amen.
See, that's the thing. Like, the world, you know, however you want to see it, the world is getting worse. You know, political climate is getting about as bad as the real climate, the Earth climate.
Like what you did there, put the two together words. That's good.
Thank you.
Them.
It was because I was on that panel, and I, you know,
Right.
spoke a lot about that. You know, but the thing is we have the penguin as a nice distraction.
Truly.
And videos of Ben Shapiro just getting fucking dick slapped.
Yeah, exactly. And we have a new Bong Joon-ho movie coming out with Robert Pattinson. You seen that movie?
That looks so good.
It looks so fucking good. And
Mickey
there's a
17?
new
Mickey 17? 17?
Mickey 17 or something like that. And did you see the Ki Hugh Kwan or Ki? Oh my God. I'm not going to watch the trailer, but dude, the resurgence of that guy coming back and being like, He's so lovable. You just love that guy. You just fall.
Society is collectively hugging him. Literally have not heard somebody go, he doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
yeah.
Right? Because he's such a sweetheart. He seems like such a sweetheart.
Dude, it's gonna really fucking suck when he goes down with Diddy. It's gonna like.
I know. He was at so many parties, dude. I've seen the footage. It's fucked up.
Yeah, and the fact that they're all wearing like Data's like things, like the stuff on
He opens
Data.
up
Yeah,
the
he's
jacket,
like,
but instead
pinches
of
of power. You want the pinches of power?
He goes,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
booby trap. Yeah, booby trap.
I'm
it's
not
got
gonna
it's got a boxing glove that shoots out. It's a dildo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he's got oil.
It's 700 dildos.
And the baby oil shoots out of the back of his shoes onto the ground. All right. Thanks for
That's
watching,
very
guys. Bye-bye.